Penataan keuangan tidak hanya menjadi perhatian pemerintah, korporasi domestik dan multinasional juga wajib menerapkan best practice pengelolaan keuangan khususnya di tengah pelemahan denyut ekonomi seperti saat ini. Korporasi Sikapi Fluktuasi Keuangan kita bahas lebih dalam di segmen The Analyst. Koresponden CNN Indonesia Hera Evarin akan berbincang dengan Michael Browder, General Manager Treasury Risk and Insurance Coca-Cola Amatil. Silakan Hera.
Cold drink equipment and distribution. So certainly there is a strong investment pipeline planned for the next few years in Indonesia.
Okay, and what is the most challenging of bounce higher financial market, at least as a beverages producer like Coca-Cola can see by the end of this year?
Look, there's a few challenges for us. A lot of our cost base remains US dollars because of the commodities, so sugar, aluminium and resin. The new FX regulations that came in from July 1 have made it a little bit more challenging for the risk management because we now have to pay in rupiah, but we still have an underlying foreign currency exposure that we will continue to manage like we always have. But it's created a lot more administration and some challenges in terms of how to actually implement that, having to do rate sets with suppliers, etc. But these things aren't insurmountable. But like a lot of companies, I guess any regulatory change like that sometimes does provide some challenges. And we've just got to basically be in the best position to, address those and respond to them accordingly.
Let me repeat our discussion. Like we talk about more specific on Coca-Cola Amatil. How big your target on emerging markets again, especially in Indonesia?
Well, as I said,
largest market in Southeast Asia.
Over time, we've publicly said that for emerging markets, and Indonesia is obviously our largest emerging market, that over time we'd be looking at double-digit growth. But
very
clearly,
optimistic.
Look, I think it's a stretch. It's a bit of a stretch target, but a lot of it's going to depend on us doing the right things and the economic climate, the political and regulatory climate. But and it's not going to be a straight line. We are going to have periods like last year that are more challenging. But certainly, there are good demographics here. There's a growing middle class, and we would hope to be able to capitalise on that.
And let me deeper about the shifting from Coke, because Coca-Cola not only selling the Coke products, but right now energy drinks and healthy drinks. Is that a new strategy for Coca-Cola to grab the bigger market and the whole world?
No, I think Coke globally have been diversifying somewhat and innovating for a number of years. I think there's a recognition that as consumer tastes develop and change, that you can't just solely focus on carbonated soft drinks. You have to look at things like the health and well-being sector, energy. So you have to look at things like waters, in some markets iced teas, in some markets juices are more prevalent.
The lifestyle is changing right now, the lifestyle.
Yeah, coffee, in Australia, iced coffee is a good growing product as well. So again for us, it's about trying to remain as relevant as we can for consumers, provide the right choice and product offering. So as tastes evolve and change, we have an offering that basically matches that.
All right. So about Indonesia, how do you see the opportunity in Indonesia, especially selling the beverages here?
Look, Indonesia's got we think it's a great opportunity market. It's growing strongly. It's got a large population, the fourth largest in the world. They're young, there's growing middle class, they seem to embrace technology. Having said that, there are challenges. We're very pleased to see a heightened focus on infrastructure. You can imagine our trucks drive a lot every day, and congestion on roads or roads that are maybe in ill repair that creates a lot of maintenance on trucks is a big challenge for us. So we're really pleased to see that infrastructure focus. And for us, we think that if they can get the reforms and sort of investment in those right areas, that further will provide opportunities for companies like ours.
Will that a new investment here or a new product to be released in a short term in Indonesia from Coca-Cola Amatil?
Oh, look, they're always looking at new product offerings. That's an ongoing thing. And
your products is really popular in here in Indonesia.
What's that?
Your products is really popular in Indonesia.
Oh yeah, but look, certainly we're stronger in some areas than others, like in all markets. And again, it's trying to be as relevant as we can, to the consumer base, and just continuing to innovate, develop, and it sounds very simple. It's about having the right product offering at the right price, in the right locations. It's all very simple, but it's not as easy in practice to do that all the time.
Does Coca-Cola has a plan to build a factory probably in Indonesia?
Oh, look, there certainly have been...
Because the multiplier effect is really good for its country.
There have been increasing capacity. We bought a second plant a few years ago at Chikadokan in Jakarta. We've recently added a line. So it's not just building new factories, it's warehousing, it's maybe putting additional capacity in existing lines. So it's really, a whole range of things. And as I said, there's quite a strong investment pipeline, and certainly enhanced by the fact that the Coca-Cola company invested $500 million US 12 months ago.
Oh, great. And Michael, do you have any suggestion or input for the government of Jokowi right now, especially for its investors like Coca-Cola, perhaps?
Oh no, look, I'm not a politician. No, it's not for me to be advising them. As I said, we've certainly, I've been coming here since the early 90s, really pleased to see the infrastructure sort of focus, and also, it sounds like they're keen to continue to attract foreign investment. So I think they're both, terrific things from my perspective. But no, I certainly wouldn't be ever providing any advice for politicians.
Michael Brout, General Manager, Treasury, Risk and Insurance, Coca-Cola Amatil. Thank you for being with us. It's very great having you here. Dan Punce kembali ke Anda di studio.